There are many things that happen in the world that we don't know. There is a very mysterious lake in Australia. It is Lake George, Australia. This lake disappears and reappears every once in a while, and the creatures at the bottom of the water follow suit. Disappeared. Even if we opened Google Maps to check, it was clearly a lake, but switched to the satellite map to view, it turned out to be a piece of dry land. This can't help but make people feel unbelievable. The narrator will reveal the unknown Lake George for you below. Lake George, formerly known as Wiriwa Lake, is the name of the local Aboriginal people. It is reported that the Pajong tribe among the Ngunnawal Aboriginal people in Yass lived there at least 60,000 years ago. In 1820, Major General Macquarie, the last plenipotentiary governor of New Zealand sent by the United Kingdom to Australia, named Wiriwa Lake as Lake George, which is still in use today. Lake George has a mysterious legend. According to Aboriginal legends, the water of Lake George flows into another world, where a swamp monster called Bunyip lives in the lake, and Birik, an ogre demon, lives in the lake. As an inland lake, Lake George has no rivers or glaciers to supply water, so no one can say where Lake George's water comes from. This mysterious Lake George is a freshwater lake located about 60 kilometers north of Canberra, Australia, and belongs to the territory of New South Wales, Australia. When Lake George is full of water, what we see is a beautiful freshwater lake about 26 kilometers long and 11 kilometers wide. The average lake level is about 2 meters. People don't know where Lake George came from, because there are no rivers or glaciers melting to provide water. The lake water of Lake George is very strange. Occasionally it dries up, and occasionally the lake is full of colors, which makes people puzzled. I heard that there was water there in 2021, so we rushed here in January 2022 to watch this mysterious lake. When Lake George is full of water, there will be swans and wild ducks waiting on the surface of the lake, and you can see the marine life in the lake clearly. When Lake George is dry, the creatures in the lake will disappear with the lake water, and these fish, the fish of this class, are all about 10 years old. No one knows where these fish come from. The coming and going of Lake George's water happens suddenly, without any warning. When the lake appears, there is no sign of rain, and when the lake dries up, there is no sign of drought. It is really a mysterious lake that appears and disappears from time to time. It was written in the book, Mysterious Phenomena of the World. When driving from Sydney to Canberra and passing Lake George, you can see an endless grassland from a distance, and you can see a sign with a sign when you look closer. Who would have thought that this lake turned out to be a lake, and there were groups of cattle and sheep enjoying delicious tender grass? The whereabouts of this lake are often uncertain. Sometimes people can enjoy the beautiful scenery of the lake, and sometimes the lake is completely dry, disappearing out of thin air and then reappearing in people's sight. According to relevant statistics, from 1820 to today, Lake George has disappeared 5 times, and the most recent one was in the summer of 1982. The current Lake George has been dry for 20 years. The trees growing at the bottom of the lake are about 10 meters high. There is no marine life at all. What you see is only cattle and sheep eating tender grass on the grassland. The medium is located in Chile, but Chile is about a few kilometers away from Australia, and the geographical location of the two places is very complicated. How did the medium reach Chile? Experts were aroused our endless conjectures. Some experts say that there may be a pipeline in the belly of the earth that supplies water from a certain place to Lake George. The weather in Lake George is unpredictable, the depth of the lake is unpredictable, and when there is strong wind, unexpected things often happen. According to a previous report by the Canberra Times, the Sims family moved to live near Lake George in 1975. The family often rowed boats in the lake and knew some of the vagaries of Lake George. Sim's son Greg recalled that on a sunny afternoon, when the lake was level as a mirror, he took off his life jacket and enjoyed the afternoon sun on the small wooden boat, when a strong wind suddenly blew up and the life jacket was taken off. The wind blows into the water. Although he knew that his father would be furious if he knew that he had lost his life jacket, he still didn't dare to get out of the boat to retrieve it. He waited on the boat until the storm had subsided before he was able to paddle to shore, but was unable to find the survival jacket. In comparison, they were lucky. In 1956, 5 students of the Royal Military Academy were involved in a sailing regatta when they crashed and died due to strong winds. 18 months later, the Queanbeyan family of 5 in NSW took a boat with a Catholic priest. Due to insufficient fuel, the boat sank. Except for the priest, the couple and their 3 children were all killed. Over the years, countless fishermen have died from the unpredictable weather of Lake George. We saw a monument to this incident by the lake. This lake has always been a mystery in Australia that no one can solve. I hope you have the opportunity to visit here. Whether there is water in the lake or not, it will be an unforgettable journey for you. That's all for today's show. See you next time.